Hare Krishna. My name is Ishwar Das. I am in Juhu, India, at the ISKCON temple. It's called ISKCON Mumbai Temple. So today we'll deal with this question of why believe in God. So, by nature, if each and every one of us look within ourselves, we'll notice that everything we do, there's a question that we ask ourselves. That is, what's in it for me? How will I enjoy from whatever I'm doing? Even if you give charity, the same question is there. Even if you say that it is just meant to feeding people, the same question is that it makes you happy. And that's why you do it. So everything we do in life, it's the natural nature of a living being to want to enjoy. In Vedic system, it is called Anandmaya Bhyasat. It is part of our intrinsic nature. We are pleasure seekers. We're seeking enjoyment. So, can we get that on our own? Can we derive that by ourselves, from ourselves, within ourselves? Sometimes it is being presented that your happiness lies within. But if we carefully analyze this notion, we'll find that if I'm alone and there's no interaction, for some time it may be okay, and I may be blissed out by not having to be bothered by so many people and so many things. But after some times we find that something is missing, a relationship. And in spite it's a relationship, the main thing is that we're seeking out happiness. We want to be happy. But in general, material relationship, however blooming they may appear in the beginning, they are all disastrous at the end. So the question may be, that's not true. Like we hear many stories that they live happily ever after. But that's just for your imagination. The statement is there that they live happily ever after. But it is not a reality in the material world. Because if you carefully analyze, if they live happily ever after, it means that when they came together in the beginning, it was a disaster. So if it was a disaster in the beginning, it will be a disaster at the end. So the final disaster is death. So the more you or anyone is captivated by love, when there is separation in the form of death, it's a disaster. And such a disaster is painful. So again, coming back to our subject matter, that we are pleasure seekers. So we see that these material relationship does not actually give fulfillment. The reason why? Because the end of them is a disaster, and they must come to an end. It is the natural nature of material existence. So, why should I believe in God? The reason why we should believe in God is because of this same principle that I am an enjoyer, I am a pleasure seeker. Anandmaya Bhyasat. So then who is God in relation to this nature that I have, this intrinsic nature that I have? Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita, Dharmasya Sukhasya Kantikasya Cha. He says that I am the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Note that term. He says constitutional position. So if he's the constitutional position of ultimate happiness, it means that you cannot get the happiness that you're searching for anywhere other than with God. Because God is that constitutional position, He's that constitutional platform by which you or anyone will attain eternal happiness. So, if we're actually recognizing what is our real self-interest is that I like to enjoy, then we will seek out that place, that person who can give that fulfillment, and that is God. So if you need to know why you should believe in God, why you should serve God, you just look within yourself and you will see that you are by nature a pleasure seeker. And then try to understand that God is the fulfillment of the happiness that you are seeking. He can give complete fulfillment. He can bring you to the point of complete satisfaction. So this is the position of God. So this is why we should engage in the service of God. This is why we should not just believe in God, but we should strive to know God, to know who is God. When we get to understand this point, who is God, that He is this person who can give fulfillment to your happiness, then you have no other choice than to take shelter of Him. Hare Krishna.